Good evening. This is your host Dan for Snowflake Sports Podcast. It is approximately 7 p.m. Wednesday, July 10th. In what was probably the most chaotic NBA free agency, which was kind of expected. There's so many people available. There were just all these max guys out there. A lot of swapping. Some people staying home. Some teams kind of doing some sign-in trades. They pretty much had it all. And I kind of wanted, so I was trying to do this on Monday because Kawhi, I think, signed Saturday, and he was pretty much the last like big free agent. Everyone else was pretty much done either Sunday or Monday at that point. But yeah, let's get into it. I'm just kind of, I don't know if you guys, any of you, what was it? Cap space fans, but like spottrack.com is amazing in that aspect. Like they've got the luxury tags, like cap holds, dead holds, like, and then they've got like, I'm gonna use their free agent thing, and just go down the list on like everyone signed, and maybe just like jump around with teams, seeing what they're doing. But yeah, so I'm gonna start with Klay Thompson. He signed a 5-year deal of $189 million. Had to do that. Absolutely had to do that. He's there. They're the Splash Brothers. Like I said before, he's so important to them that there's no way that they were gonna not offer him the max. Like even if he made the third NBA All NBA team, he definitely would have been super maxed. I think they would have found a way to make it work. I mean, Kevin Durant leaving too, they had decent amount of space. So, and then also with Golden State though, they did a sign and trade with D'Angelo Russell, which I thought was very shocking. I didn't see that coming. Like I think that was late Sunday night, like 2 Sundays ago, and I was just like, what? Like, why would they do that? Like, so my 3 best players are guards, and then you got Draymond, who's like a power forward, point, small ball center kind of thing. I did not see that coming. It sounded more like he was going to go to Minnesota. So last podcast I predicted he would go to LA as the third guy, which I think that would have been better. But it's so weird because they're already talking about trading him. Like he's like a temporary fix almost for Golden State when Klay Thompson's out, so they can play 2 guards, which I guess makes sense because they're not, like, that's a lot of, so they sign and trade him and he's at 117, which I think is his max, or at least close enough to. But yeah, Golden State, they're doing pretty good. I'm gonna flip to their page too. Because I don't think they signed anyone else. They let Quinn Cook go to the Lakers. I know that. And I think they really only signed Klay and D'Angelo. But I feel like, yeah, it's his max sign and trade. Because they didn't have much cap space. Oh, no, they also signed Looney, too. For, like, a steal. Like, he was, like, 3 years, 15 million. Like I thought it was like 10 or something. Like he's bad offensively, definitely. But he's so switchable on D. Like he's 6'9", very, very athletic. Like I don't know, props to them. He might have just wanted to stay too, and didn't. But they got Willie Cauley-Stein, Alex Burks, just kind of rounding out the roster, and pretty much, and then they lost Kevin Durant clearly because he went to Brooklyn. Yeah, I guess. Brooklyn stole the night. They got Kevin Durant. Kyrie was pretty predictable. And then the last pod, my dad was saying that Kevin Durant should have gone to Brooklyn anyways because it makes more sense. Their core is better. Like their organization's better. They have a better coach. Well, I don't know. Like Fizdale's not that bad. He's just in a shitty situation. And Kenny Atkinson's, I don't know. He seemed pretty good last year. I was kind of throwing shade on him a little bit because it seemed like in crunch time they just blew so many games, and then they kind of figured it out and were a playoff team. So, so they got Kyrie and they got KD, and then they didn't take the max so that they could do a 4-year, $40 million for DeAndre Jordan? Like, what? What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Why? And I guess, like, Brooklyn, if, like, Kevin Durant and Kyrie are saying to do that, like, so that they sign DeAndre Jordan, like, you're going to do that automatically. And DeAndre Jordan's only 31. I thought he was older because it looks like he's played super old. But yeah, so this team, so Kevin Durant's going to still be hurt all of next year, so he's not even going to play the year after that. So it'll be interesting to see what Kyrie does on another young team with promising talent, and they had a good year last year. It's kind of like the Celtics, but I think the only thing with the Celtics is they just have more history of like success and everything. Like the Nets had, I don't think they didn't win the title when there was like the Jason Kidd, Al Jefferson kind of year. They definitely did not, but they made it to the finals at least once from what I remember. And this is like as good as it can get, and especially like everyone's saying like, oh, there's no Brooklyn fans. Like, why would Kevin Durant want to go somewhere? Like I just don't think you. Like my dad said it perfectly. Like their young core is not as good as the Nets' young core, and the Nets were getting Kyrie Irving. He said that like 2 weeks ago, so it was just interesting to see that Kyrie was able to kind of steer the conversation because it seemed like Kevin was set on going to New York. Like I'm gonna revive Mecca. It's gonna be amazing. Like people are gonna love me and everything. But I think once he got hurt, Kyrie had the upper hand because he's like, listen, I gotta play without you for a year, so I need to pick a team because I'm still like Kyrie's still in his prime, but I think Kyrie's situation will get a little better. Supposedly he's good friends with Spencer Dinwiddie, so that's good. Like, I think he just did not connect well with the Celtics young team, and like when he came off the injury, came back, he had like no one. So I think just having that one guy will definitely help. Then they also signed Garrett Temple, who was on the Clips for a little bit after getting traded. He was on the Grizzlies and they got traded to the Clippers. He's alright. He's pretty old. They got him for $5 million for next year. I forget if that was. It's probably a 2-year contract. Yeah, 2 years, $10 million. Not bad. And another shooting guard. So, I'm trying to think what this. So, Kyrie's at the point. Karis LeVert, I guess at shooting guard. And then Kevin Durant at small forward. Then you got probably Jarrett Allen at the center. And it'll be interesting who goes power forward. It doesn't look like they have one according to Spot Track, but maybe they'll put Taurean Prince because Kevin Durant could definitely play the 4. I mean, he's fucking tall enough. So, or they might. Interesting if they do a 3-guard lineup, or like Karis LeVert could play 3. I feel like I was actually surprised he's a shooting guard. So that's gonna be, they're gonna be a title contender in 2 years, not next year, because KD's got to unfortunately sit. But we'll see. I don't think it's gonna blow up like it did in Boston. I think it's gonna kind of work. I think Kyrie knows how bad last year went, so I hope he like learns and kind of gets back to his usual self. I guess he just needs to pass more. But they do, I don't know, with D'Angelo Russell, they did so much like isolation pick and rolls, especially when Karis LeVert got hurt. So like, I feel like benefits Kyrie. I don't know. We'll see. They're like a 5-6 seed, maybe 4 or 5 seed, without Kevin Durant. Probably a 1 or 2 with him. Going back to the other free agents, Tobias Harris re-signed with Philadelphia. Max dollars too. I was a little surprised. I wasn't really following Jimmy too much. But I guess that trade with Miami was pretty known on Sunday. I was kind of shocked that they didn't pursue him more. Maybe Jimmy just told them like, listen, I don't fit this culture. Like, you don't run enough pick and rolls for me. Like, I don't see myself kind of prospering. Like, I've always wanted to play in Miami or something like that. So it was interesting because they signed a trade. Philadelphia got back Josh Richardson, pretty good shooting guard, very length, which is like their freaking team length. Now when they also signed Al Horford for 4 years, 109 million. But I don't know. I guess it affects Ben Simmons and Jimmy Butler is like the guy, and Ben Simmons is like, okay, I can't beat point, like I can't do anything, but like Ben can't shoot, like he shoots with the wrong hand. So I don't know, I didn't get it, and I was not impressed with Tobias Harris in the playoffs. So for him to get a 5-year max just kind of seemed like they traded all these ridiculous. Yes, his last year he's gonna make $40 million. Like I don't know. There was a playoff game against the Raptors. He went like 2 for 14 from three. Like they were just letting him spot up. Like he's like they let him spot up. Like Eric Bledsoe spot up. Like you gotta improve a little bit, Toby. Sad though, because I think Bobby went to Dallas. I think he's not gonna be on this list because he went for like not a lot of money. So Toby and Bobby broken up. That'll be sad. But yeah, this team, so Philadelphia itself is just gonna be weird now because they got. So they're gonna start with Ben Simmons, who's like 6'10", Josh Richardson, who I think is like 6'7". He'll also help out more defensively over JJ, but I mean JJ was like the assassin. Oh yeah, JJ went to the Pelicans too, which was super sneaky. Like good job, David Griffin. I think that was 2 years, $26 million. Yeah. But yeah, steal for that. You got a veteran, like an adult in the locker room. Like you give Zion more shooting, so that was good. Anyways, going back to Philadelphia. So yeah, you got Josh Richardson, who's going to be a better two-way defender, super lengthy. Tobias Harris, and then you could do Joel Embiid and Al Horford. Like that's just good. Like oh my god, how are you gonna score on them? Granted, like there's not a lot of shooting on the other side. Like with that, like Josh Richardson's probably their best 3-point shooter, or like probably Al Horford, which is kind of crazy. I mean, he is a good 3-point shooter. The Kyrie Horford like pick and pop was deadly, especially against Philadelphia. Like, so it'll be interesting. I don't know how good they'll be. I feel like it's Philadelphia and Milwaukee next year for the East. Like, Boston got Kemba. The Pacers kind of revamped their whole. They got rid of some guys, but they got Michael Brogdon. They got Jeremy Lamb, which I'm not a huge fan of, but he did have some moments at Charlotte. I'm trying to think who. I mean, the Nets will be good. The Raptors, when they tragically lost Kawhi, will probably be like a 6-7 seed with like Magic, and Miami will be good because they got Jimmy, and supposedly might get Russell Westbrook through this trade, which will what a terrible locker room. Well, I don't know. Russell might be a good teammate. I just feel like the press conferences afterwards are just gonna be like ridiculous because Russ somehow hates every reporter that asks him any question. Yeah, so it's Milwaukee. I think is still a clear favorite, and then Philadelphia is right there. But it's just like I don't want to give them like the favorite to win the East just because like it's such a weird team. And like they drafted well. They got Thibault. They got Zari Smith if you can stay healthy. I'm trying to think what else they got. But yeah, so I'm just gonna jump into Milwaukee. They pretty much just retained everyone except for Malcolm Brogdon. So they gave Middleton pretty much the max. They gave Robin Lopez not much money, but he still signed. And then they also signed George Hill, who's good backup. Like him, like Hill and Connington coming off the bench is very good for them. Because if they deal with any injuries or because if Eric Bledsoe sucks like he used to, like George Hill can come and step up. Yeah, Robin Lopez is making like $5 million. and he's like starts for them. I don't know. I feel like they just didn't have the cap space. But yeah, so they didn't really want to pay Brogdon because I think that would have put him over the luxury tax. Yeah, that definitely would have. Probably by a lot, honestly. Because, like, I think he got 4 years, 82 or something. And what the tax salary right now for them is 125 million, and 132 is the luxury tax for next year. So they had 7 million space, probably couldn't sign Brogdon, so probably would have had to lose Hill. Maybe I'd rather have Brogdon than Hill. That gives you it sets up more on the timeline for Giannis too, and like if you go 4 million, like you're competing for a title, Bucks. Like, come on, owner. I don't even know who the Bucks owner is, but you gotta fork up that money. Like if you're competing for a title, that's the reason to go over the luxury tax. And if you're not, then like don't be near it. Like Cleveland's kind of screwed because they can't really do anything for the next, I think, year or two. Trying to look up who else. Doesn't look like it's like a group of people. Oh, Aaron Rodgers, I guess, does. Come on, Aaron Rodgers, pony up, man. Let's see. Yeah, sorry, I did not really prepare this well. I'm just kind of going through the list. Anyways, so the current Bucks owners are Wes Edens, Mark Larsey, and Jamie Dinnan, and they, with Herb Cole, they, I guess they're the majority owners. Whatever. Okay. That was stupid to kind of look up. Anyway, so like, I don't know, they keep most of the core. Like, I thought they wouldn't be able to sign Robin Lopez, and I thought they would keep Brogdon. And if that meant losing George Hill, like, whatever. Like, Brogdon's younger, he's closer age with Giannis. Like, who knows how long Robin Lopez can still play. But I mean, he evolved his game, he shoots more threes, like, he could probably play 3 or 4 more years, maybe. He's 31 right now. But yeah, I think they're still the favorites. I thought they were going to beat the Raptors going into the series. And when they went up 2-0, I thought it was done. And then the Raptors came back. But yeah, they won 2 playoff series before they didn't win anything, so they're going to come back. They're going to come back hungry. So are the Sixers, though, because how they lost that series to the Raptors. Like, that'll be, like a Bucks Sixers conference finals is gonna be sick. Let's get it. Let's just skip to next June. Skip the next 11 months. Let's see. Okay, and then so yeah, already did Kevin Durant. Porzingis got maxed for Dallas, which made sense because Dallas had a ton of cap space, and I think they're gonna sign someone else too. I think they were in the hunt for Danny Green, and Danny Green eventually went to LA. Who's this? Oh, Maxi Kleber. Whatever. This is deep in the trenches. But yeah, no, it's smart to max him out. Him and Luka are just gonna be like crazy. Like, both are really good shooters. Luka's more of a playmaker. But I mean, Porzingis can pass too, and they're just like two of the most electric offensive players that you could have right now. Oh, they signed Seth. Okay, and they got DeLon Wright. Okay. And I'll sign a trade with Memphis. Former Raptor. Super big. He's like 6'5". I'm pretty sure everyone knows who. Well, I don't know. Yeah, he's a good young point guard. I guess he's not that young. He's 27. Yeah, okay, they got Boban. They got Seth Curry, so they got shooting. They got shooting with Seth. And Luka can shoot. Yeah. I don't know what to think about this team. I feel like they're like 2 years away from being a legit contender. They probably won't even make the playoffs next year. Because we'll see how Porzingis is still. He hasn't played a full season, like, ever, I don't think. And we'll see how Luka improves. Like, does he take a slump like Jason Tatum did, or does he improve kind of more? I guess Ben Simmons. I think Ben Simmons improved last year, at least during the season. I mean, he was a starter at the All-Star game, so I don't know if that was popularity or... I'm pretty sure his stats were good. I should note this, but yeah, Dallas probably not doing much next year. Yeah. Oh, and Jimmy Butler going to Miami. I didn't really talk about Miami. I don't know what to think of this. Supposedly they're on the running for Russell Westbrook too, and I don't know if he's trade like Dragic and like I don't know how many picks they have left. Cause like the freaking Clippers just sent that to OKC with that Paul George trade. So I don't really get it. I don't understand why Jimmy wants to play Miami. It's definitely not a basketball move. Maybe it's like Florida, no taxes. And maybe it was also Philly like not wanting to trade with Houston and not like maybe like I think Josh Richardson is probably more upside than like Aaron Gordon or Eric Gordon. Yeah, Eric Gordon or like Clint Capella. Clint Capella can play small ball, get him out. So I don't really get it. I think it's more people were saying that like the Dwayne Wade kind of tour is kind of what Jimmy wants. He just wants to be recognized for his legacy and like how awesome he is. I can see that. He definitely this is gonna be his team absolutely. Like I mean like Bea Adebayo is there. Like Hassan left. He's on the Blazers, which I don't know what to think about that deal. We'll get back to that though. So Kemba to Boston though, that was good. I mean they lost Kyrie and they got Kemba. Pretty much just insert. You pretty much knew that before. He's a great teammate. He won the sportsmanship year twice, like I said in the last podcast. So I think he'll kind of corral that team more. Like you might see that more effort. Brad Stevens kind of team from 2 years ago. And so Boston also signed, I think, Enes Kanter, which is pretty good. They needed like someone to play center because they lost Al Horford as well. So that was a good steal. They re-signed Daniel Theis too, which made sense to keep those big guys there. But yeah, you would imagine that Gordon Hayward would get better. I think Gordon Hayward at the end of the year was improving, not like max level or Utah Jazz Gordon Hayward. Jaylen Brown improved last year, so hopefully he can build off that. Jason Tatum kind of took a step. He's taking all these weird long ass twos. So we'll see what he does. They're probably I'm trying to think. So like I think Milwaukee would be first, Philly would be second. I gotta say the Pacers probably are the third. And then like Boston, Brooklyn around that. And that would be fun. Like if Kyrie plays Boston in the first round, that would be so great. Boston probably beat them, I would imagine. But yeah, Kemba I think will be a better locker room fit, which I think will like help the young guns play better. They're not going to be calling them out or anything. But yeah, okay, talking about that. Oh, and then, okay, here we go. Kawhi Leonard going to the Clippers, being the last one to sign. He was, like, when he went back to Toronto, everyone was following him around, and people were, like, gathering in front of, like, hotels that he was supposedly going to meet with. But in actuality, it seemed... So, he was just meeting with Paul George, trying to get him to go to the Clippers. And I think that's why it took so long, because, like Paul George had to go back to OKC, and then OKC would call the Clippers and be like, "This is what we want to do," and then Clippers give up like so much to go get Paul George, like, and they had to. They absolutely had to, because, like, if not, Kawhi's probably going to the Lakers. There are some reports out. I don't know if it was today. I read it today, but like his uncle Dennis was supposedly coming out with these outrageous demands. I don't know if it was. There's like. None of these are probably true, but like Uncle Dennis would get like ownership or be like an exec on the team or something if he stayed with Toronto. So like Masai was like, no, you can't do that. So there's just supposedly they were not done, but like Jalen Rose was like 99% sure. that he was gonna be a Raptor. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so the Clippers, when they got Paul George, they gave away 3 unprotected draft picks of their own. I think 1 or 2 Miami unprotected. Oh no, one unprotected Miami. That's the 2021 one, and then a lottery protected, some other later one, and then I think 2 pick swaps as well. And then they also gave him Gallo and SGA, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Like, that's a huge haul for OKC, and they could basically just rebuild. And of course, they're gonna sign or trade Russell Westbrook before the season starts. I think it would be ridiculous if they try to keep him, because like I mean, like, Gallo's pretty good, but I mean, SGA is a point guard, so it probably has more upside, and they just have all these picks, and so they just got to surround them with younger players, kind of do a whole rebuild kind of thing. But yeah, Kawhi not coming back. Me personally, I'm not that mad, because so like this was originally what everyone thought, like throughout the entire season, like, oh, he's going to Clips, he's going to Clippers, he's going to Clippers. There's no way he's staying in Toronto. Then when Toronto started to do better, it was like, okay, maybe he'll stay. Like, if they win a title, no one's ever left when someone's won a title, so why would he do that? And then when after the finals parade and everything, it almost seemed like he was gonna go to the Lakers more, and it came out that he wanted to play with a superstar, at least after. That's why he waited so long, because the Clippers didn't have a superstar before they traded for Paul George, and then now they have 2. So it's interesting. I wonder if like that trade doesn't happen, does he go to the Raptors and run it back on a short-term deal? But that doesn't really make sense. Yeah, you don't really know what's going on inside his head. But yeah, he'll be at Clippers. Came out today too that he signed a 3-year deal with a player option on the 3rd year. So I think, and that lines up with Paul George's deal too. So he can only play the Clips for 2 years. I imagine he only did that so he can opt out after the 2nd year and then get like this like super max 5-year deal. I don't think it'll be a super max, because he would be only on the Clippers for 2 years. But it's like he would play 10 years by then, so you can get like a KD max that he got for Brooklyn. Yeah, so Clippers, I think I would say Western Conference contenders. I'd say they're probably number 1. Then you got just a bunch of teams like Denver should still be good. Portland should be fine. Lakers will be great because they got AD. And Utah re-upped. Everyone talks about them. That's probably it for the like teams that can actually win. Then you got the Spurs, that'll probably be good. Kings will probably be fun again. But yeah, and then so the next one on this list was Nikola Vucevic, who got 4 years, $100 million, which I don't know, he's like their guy, and like I feel like in today's NBA, like $25 million a year for your top guy is not that bad. He just had such a bad playoff series, but I mean that could have just been because playing against world champ Raptors, like I mean he was going up against Marc Gasol, who was defensive player of the year, and then either that or Serge Ibaka, so like they had a lot of things going on. So they re-signed Vucevic, they re-signed Terrence Ross. Aminu, I think they traded. I don't know, they just signed him. Yeah. So Al-Farouq Aminu from the Blazers. So good wing, plays really good defense. Yeah, and then they re-signed like Kent Birch and Michael Carter-Williams. So Orlando's running it back. They're definitely not a destination for anyone, so they just use their cap space to kind of sign their guys. But yeah, it's kind of like where does Mo Bamba now fit in kind of thing, because Vucevic is making $25 $25 million a year, and like he's probably gonna play a ton of minutes. You can't play two centers in today's NBA. Like you can almost barely play one. So yeah. Let me go back, check out some more. Well, yeah, Orlando's probably still like a 7 seed or nothing too important. Oh yeah, Harrison Barnes re-signed with the Kings. And then also Dwayne Dedmon came over there. Don't know much about him, but people really like him from Atlanta. And Corey Joseph signed with him. But yeah, I think it was. I guess it was smart to resign. So when Harrison Barnes opted out of his contract, I thought it was weird because it was like $25 million, and like I didn't think a team would, other than the Kings, would like go after him. But that was kind of smart because then he got a longer deal. It's more guaranteed. So I think the Kings will be good next year. I mean, it's really their core. They didn't really do, like, they had Corey Joseph to be a backup point guard, and then Dwayne Dedmon just kind of replaced Cauley Stein. So it's probably better than Cauley Stein, but like he's gonna be behind Bagley. So yeah, interesting setup for the Kings. I imagine they'll make the playoffs this year. They'll probably still be around that 8 seed area. I don't know what team is gonna dip. Like the Rockets should still be good. I don't think I said them before as a contender. They just pretty much ran it back. They were in the hunt for Jimmy Butler, and we're gonna trade basically everyone outside of Chris Paul and James Harden. So like Gordon, Clint Capella. I forget that third guy. But yeah, so let's keep going. Indiana should be good. So they got Malcolm Brogdon. I'm thinking they're going to be like a 3 seed kind of thing. They lost Bogdanovich. And they got T.J. Warren through that trade with the Phoenix Suns. Good. That's pretty much a steal because they gave a 30-second. Or I forget, what was that trade like? Because I think it was like, I think the Suns gave the Pacers the 30-second pick and TJ Warren for like cash or something, like just for cap space, which made no freaking sense. Alright, I just gotta look this up because it's bothering me. But so who else the Pacers? Oh, and Jeremy Lamb for $10 million, which, yeah, I don't know. I guess that's good backup for Victor Oladipo if he gets hurt again, or maybe just to give out to him minutes to, kind of rest him or whatever. Okay, does it not say? It does not say. Basketball Reference. Boo. Okay. Sorry, my lack of research. Okay, yeah, so they did trade the 32nd pick from, and I just want to know what the Suns got back. Because T.J. Warren was, like, pretty reliable. He averaged 18 points. Oh, he only played 43 games, though, last year. And just, it's for cash. Like, Jesus Christ. Suns are so messed up. Like, the Suns and the Knicks are just terribly run organizations, and everyone fucking knows it. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna go look up the Knicks because it's running around 35 minutes right now. So the Knicks struck out. They didn't get Kevin Durant, and I thought they would not use the cap space, and that would have been pretty smart because then they could have done a bunch of like asset buildings where it's like, oh, you got an expiring contract, we'll absorb that if you send a pick, kind of thing. We'll send you like nothing. Kind of like what the Suns did. Like maybe they could have done that. Got an unprotected Suns pick. So I didn't. At first, they got Julius Randle for 3 years, $60 million. and I was like, that seems a little high. But I mean, they had 2 max slots, and that's not even close to a max slot, like a KD max slot. So I thought that was fine, especially after everything. Because he could be, like, he'll be the guy. RJ Barrett's still a rookie, and I think he's got to improve. He's got, I wouldn't say a long way to go, but I don't think he's going to be, like, rookie of the year or anything. But we'll see. Zion was hurt again. Maybe they'll have issues. Anyway, so the Randall signing was good, but then they signed Bobby Portis and Taj Gibson, which makes no sense because they both play power forward. And you know who also plays power forward? Julius Randle. Like, what are you doing? Like, I forget who the Knicks GM is, and he's also just doing terrible moves. So I think luckily though these are all like 1 or 2 year contracts. So okay, Bobby Portis is 2. Maybe it's a club option. Let me look. Like, okay, so Bobby Portis is like a decent player. Like, he's okay. It's understandable. That was club, right? Yeah, club option. I think most of it are 2 years with a club option so that they can go into 2021 and chase after like Giannis or Bradley Beal or something like that. So yeah, Bobby Portis is a good player. Taj Gibson, like, whatever. But like, you already have Randall, so like, why are you doing this? And they also got Reggie Bullock for a lot, Wayne Ellington, like Alfred Payton. Like, these are it's just gross signings, and I don't think they went over it. Yeah, they're not even over the cap. Or I guess, do they have dead holes? Oh, Joakim Noah for 6. Oh yeah, okay. That's why I don't get it. Oh, the cap holes made it go up. That makes sense. Yeah. I'm trying to think of if there's any other teams I really want to go into, because there's like a ton of players that moved around. I don't know if you want, like, Conley getting traded to Utah, and Utah also signing Bogdanovich. Yeah, let me end with that, because like everyone's talking about them. I guess if you follow it all, you know. Oh, they got Ed Davis too, good power forward, because they lost Favors. I forget where he went. But yeah, so you got Mike Conley, you got Bojan Bogdanovic, Joe Ingles, like, so you throw out those 3, and then you got Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. Like, Donovan Mitchell's gonna be the 4th best 3-point shooter on that team. Like, this team, and like Mike Conley can play defense. Joe Ingles not really. Bogdanovic I don't know too much about defensively. Like, I know he can score offensively pretty well. And then you got Rudy Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year. So it's gonna be a little scary. Mike Conley's got a lot of like playoff experience from the grit and grind era in Memphis. No one else really does, except for losing to the Rockets. And I guess beating OKC last year, which is pretty impressive. I just don't think they'll have it in them to make it farther than the second round. Like, I think Denver's got probably better talent. They're just a more complete. Like, I was super impressed with them. They went 7 with the Blazers. We'll see how good the Blazers are, but it's like, I think the Clips will make the finals. Lakers maybe, if they stay healthy. They like Anthony Davis is pretty injury prone. LeBron James. Oh, I should also talk about the Lakers. Goddamn. Yeah, so like Utah's like should make the second round, I think, with like Denver or maybe Portland, or like those those are the 5 bigger teams that'll kind of duke it out. Oh my, the Rockets could also. The Rockets would kill this team too, because they would just take Rudy out. Even though Gobert has improved guarding outside the paint, I still think they would annihilate them. Okay, yeah, let me just end it now on the Lakers. So, they did not get Kawhi. They kind of waited too long. This was the trouble chasing Kawhi, because he didn't decide very quickly. So, but then they kind of filled it out I wouldn't say poorly. I felt like they did a pretty good job. So initially, I was like, okay, they shouldn't sign Kawhi, and they had 3 players on the roster. They should fill it out with like, with Danny Green, with Patrick Beverly, like, and then some other probably center or forward. So they did get Danny Green, but they signed him 2 years, $30 million, which is way too much. Like he was making 10 last year for Toronto, and that seemed high. Like it seemed like he was like in the 6-7 million range. Supposedly Dallas is going after him, but like at that point, then just let him go. Like. But I mean, he's important because with LeBron James, you need shooting, and Danny Green's a 45% spot up shooter in the regular season. So and he's good defensively too. But then, so like that was high, and then they signed KCP for, I don't know if it was 1 year or multiple years. Let's see, 2 years, $16 million. Was it club or player? Yeah, player option. So 1-1. But I don't know, Rich Paul run this fucking team. Cause like he didn't play that well last year, and you just get like who wants to go get KCP? Like why are you paying this much for KCP? And they also re-signed JaVale McGee. Just like okay, like I don't know. I think he, especially like rim running, could be super important for him. So and then they also signed Rajon Rondo. So they pretty much ran back the mean team without Stevenson. Right? Yeah. And without what's his face, Michael Beasley, but Michael Beasley's like in China right now, so that wasn't happening. Or I guess they still got Alex Caruso, and of course they have Kyle Kuzma. But then they got Jared Dudley from the Nets, on a minimum, which is pretty much what they would have to do. They got Quinn Cook from Golden State, who could run point, but it sounds like LeBron's gonna run point, and Rondo's also there too, so I don't know how that'll work. But they got DeMarcus Cousins for $3.5 million. I think it's a 1 year. I hope it's a 1 year. Yeah. He was alright. Like, I know that tear backed him, but he came back for the finals, and he had some good games. He had some poor defensive games, but, like, $3.5 million? That's a steal. Like, I feel like that almost offsets the Danny Green KCP deals. Because I thought he'd be worth at least 5, like if not 10. Like Vucevic is getting $25 million a year, and DeMarcus Cousins is making 3.5. Like I don't care that he's got the Achilles tear and the quad tear. Like he was pretty good last year. Like he was kind of important to the Warriors, and he helped them win playoff games, like against the Raptors. I don't know, but anyways, this ends this edition of the Snowflake Sports Podcast. Thank you for listening, and have an awesome week.